Yo, so welcome to the first video on my channel, which I guess, as you can see by the title, is what did I learn by training with Mike Thurston. So if some of you don't know, a couple of weeks ago I reached out to Mike and I basically just said, you know, can I come down and do a video with you, sort of talking about all the things as a student I deal with trying to also fit in a lifestyle where I can go to the gym and learn to train, and how about filming a video sort of explaining how's best to do that, sort of balancing uni and also training as well, building muscle, all that sort of jazz. So yeah, what did I learn? Well, first thing I learned was that his crib is absolutely amazing. Like, I'm not even joking. As soon as I walked in, as you can see, I was literally like blown away. So I guess that doesn't really count as what did I learn by training with him. I mean, he's a lovely guy. Another one, like, it's quite a lot of the time you think that these YouTubers are just influencers are just going to be like full of themselves, and they're not going to act like real human beings. They're just going to be like this sort of, I don't know, you just get a weird preconception, I guess, of what influencers and YouTubers are like. But honestly, he's an absolute legend, Mike. So if you're watching this, thank you. I mean, you're definitely not watching this, but thank you for the opportunity. Another thing was just focusing on volume. More is better. When ultimately I was probably just overtraining myself, and like he was saying, I'm sticking at like 75 kilograms at the moment. I'm stuck at 74, 75 kilograms. I'm just not really, I mean, I'm lean, and that was a thing that someone asked me, like, how do I stay lean all year round? To be honest, it's just because of I was training to my Apple Watch, like training to 1,000 calories per session, and what that meant was that I was basically doing cardio while I was like building muscle at the same time. So I wasn't really building muscle, I was just toning up, which, to be fair, like, isn't bad at all. But I mean, if I wanted to build muscle, if I wanted to get bigger, if I wanted to get stronger, I needed to effectively do less volume, and I just wasn't giving myself enough time to recover. I was wearing myself out in the gym. I was starting to get down. I wasn't really motivated to go to the gym. It was sort of just a thing that I thought I had to do every single day. It wasn't something I was starting to lose my enjoyment for it, which ultimately is why we do it. Hey, I mean we do it because we want to look good, I guess, to feel good. But yeah, if you're starting to get down and you're not enjoying it, then I think it's time that you need to like look at yourself in the mirror and think, like, why am I actually training? I've sort of started to change the way that I structure my sessions. I'm very much now going into the gym, and I'm just focusing on getting stronger, progressively overloading my exercises. And to be honest, it has made a big difference. I've definitely seen my physique change. I wouldn't say necessarily improve, I'd say change. I've lost a little bit of leanness, so I have a little bit more fat on me. I would say I am getting a bit bigger. I haven't managed to weigh myself since, because I don't have scales in my uni dorm, which is a bit dead, but I'm going to get some soon. And what I want to do essentially with this channel is to just sort of just document my journey in the fitness world. I'm not saying that I am this fountain of knowledge, this person that knows loads. Honestly, I've only been doing this for like a year and a half, and I've just done it off my own back. I haven't done any courses. I've just watched YouTube, read a few things online, and then ultimately just trialed and errored my whole way to what I am now, which ultimately I don't see as a problem. I think I've learned a lot along the way. I've failed, I've had to sacrifice quite a lot, lots of time, lots of energy on it, but ultimately it's something I enjoy. It's just getting out there, staying active, working on yourself for an hour and a half a day. So yeah, basically this channel is your channel. Like, I want you guys to just really ask me anything. To, you know, if you want me to do a video on what sort of equipment I use at the gym, like what I have in my gym bag, what supplements I use, even just going to like, can you try this, can you try that, can you try this thing in the gym and see how it works, like basically just use me as like a guinea pig. Ultimately that's what I've been doing for like for a year and a half. I've just been trialing and erroring things, to see what works for me. And of course what works for me might not work for you. What things work for you might not work for me. So at the end of the day, we're just in this life together, aren't we? Like we're all just sort of doing our own thing. But I want the channel to be something that you guys can interact with me on, and very you know, in the comments I'll be there reading what you want, and I want you guys to do that. That I'll be able to make videos that you want to see. Ultimately I'll be able to judge depending on how well this video does, to see if like you guys actually want to watch me or not, if I'm not just this dead person on YouTube. But yeah, another thing I have learned is my diet. So I was restricting my calories a lot. So I was probably only eating 2,000 calories, which just wasn't enough at all to build muscle. And I'm not saying that my goal was to necessarily just build muscle. I think just in general I wasn't eating enough, and that's sort of caused me to sort of decline in my well-being. I started to just get a bit down and depressed, and I just wasn't enjoying my training. My pumps were just getting really, really dead. Like I just wasn't getting a pump in the gym. I was overtraining, I was overworking myself. And that's something that Mike literally saw straight away. He saw that I was obviously overtraining. I was pushing myself at every single session, and then I expected myself to get back in. I was training 6 days a week, and I wasn't giving myself enough time to recover. And I wasn't eating enough carbohydrate. Like I always saw carbohydrate as this bad thing. I shouldn't eat it. When ultimately carbohydrate is so important. What I was doing was completely butchering myself in the gym, and then I wasn't refueling. All my glycogen stores were gone, and I was then just working on basically nothing, and I was just feeding myself way too much protein. Like I am eating, I still probably do eat too much protein. Like I am on 250 grams, like 300 grams of protein a day, which is just not really what you want. I mean, I don't think there's any problem with it. I think it's just excessive. And I've always just had this view of carbohydrate as a bad thing. I wouldn't eat rice, I wouldn't eat like bread or pasta or stuff like that. I thought it was really bad, basically. I thought it was stodgy, and I thought it wasn't good. And now my whole view has changed, and what Mike was telling me was that when he was at uni, he did carb cycling, which is what really you know, started his and kicked on his growth, and also like just helped him in general while he was training. And that's the real turning point for him, and I think that's probably the same thing for me. Like I've started to do carb cycling, which I'll do another video as well. I mean, you can search it up on the internet, but basically what it is one day doing a high carb diet, eating rice, eating bread, eating oats, things like that, potatoes, and barely any fat. And then the next day doing the opposite, so eating lots of fat, lots of protein. Obviously protein stays the same, and you're just limiting the amount of carbohydrate and fat each day, which for me, for the most part, has been working really, really well. And I've enjoyed it because of it means that I can eat foods that I didn't necessarily think that I could eat. So I've been eating lots of rice, I've been eating lots of potatoes, things like that for some people would be like, well, why is he going on about how good they are? But I mean, because I hadn't eaten them, like honestly, when you haven't eaten a food for like over a year, it is just, yeah, I see them as really indulgent foods now, which is probably a bit sad, but either way, yeah, that's another thing I learned, that my diet might not have necessarily been optimum, and that you can change it up. And carb cycling, intermittent fasting, all these things I have tried a little bit. Yeah, again, the trial and error sort of thing. If you want me to go through these in more detail, I honestly will, because I have experienced each one, I've tried each one. So yeah, this is my first video. Those are the things I mainly learned from it, and ultimately it was just a great time, like just traveling down to London and the experience of training with Mike and seeing, you know, how he lives and how he eats, and how like he's so laid back, and he's just a really chill dude. Like he's a legend. So yeah, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, why not hit subscribe, smash a like on this video, and I'll probably be back again. I'll be reading your comments and seeing what you guys want to see. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Go well and God bless.